America. An angle. And every time, remember Team Action. When Team Action comes together, an eagle leaves the nest. A bald eagle leaves the nest. It's one of the most beautiful things and most American things ever. About as American as this comeback ever was. Before we get to that, though, we were wondering who it is. Who is it? And honestly, given how they set this up last week, you knew how I felt about it. Okay. And also, we had a delay till Saturday instead of actually on a Friday night. So that was lovely. But let me tell you, between both having to deal with that cutscene at the end and then this thing. Also, we get a good setup to bookend with the storyline, which I'm just going to get that out of the way. That was, to me, more the least interesting thing. Clearly, he tries to work with his Chaos Theory partner, Nick Harley, Jacoby Bancroft. I'm not surprised by this. I mean, I could tell from the way he was acting, Harley. He's going to go back to be the spoiler. And the cutscene only proved that further, that he decides to join them. Everybody preferred the spoiler anyway over whatever he was last season. But it seems surprising to some people that wouldn't, I guess. But I think anyone with the half a brain would have figured this out. Or as freaking Bad Gilmore would say, the FCO commissioner would definitely have seen it from a mile away. And I did too. But I didn't see something coming that happened later. And of course, then we talk about, apparently we get the undercard set up for Hannah versus Jesse Swift. And he was swiftly dealt with. At least in round 3, it seemed to be the case. Yeah, no one's feeling sorry for him in this case. I'd like him to, make a good comeback after this match. That's for damn sure. I don't know how, or if he's going to be in another faction, or what's going to... Maybe he's a fan favorite, because they have no IG players. That would be great for that. And, before we did to this, and then, and then his Hornet persona, the whole buzz, is fine. I was kind of riding along with it for a little bit. The thing I was really more interested in... Also, the setup they had where it turns out he was Challenger Dark Raditz. They made a setup to where he basically decided to do Team Stain. And I'm like, oh. And they were trying to set it up to where he wouldn't have a partner. Wound up having a partner eventually. Guess who that... And who that partner was, I think, more of a surprise. I don't think we were even thinking it at all. That this was even going to happen. I mean, the Harris Brothers reunited. We should have thought it was going to happen. Hell, Waterbury's reunited. I mean, that should have been enough of a thing. But, no. Although this Team The Reckoning is fucking great. Raditz and... And Brother Lomas. And Brother Lomas was bringing... Both were bringing good character points. Like, this main event match, once it was revealed that he had a partner, it wound up being Andrew Guy finally coming back into the fold. Team Action fucking back. And it makes me sad I'm never going to get that, Ben wants to take a break. Now you want to take a break after we want to see and hear from you guys about the whole thing that happened here. And we got to wait a week? It's like, nah, man, that's some bullshit. You should have capitalized on it when you had the chance. And I'm hoping to Backstage 2.0 you will, Ben. But goddamn. Whew, the table thing, everything, even his victory, woo, woo, woo. And then when he comes out of there, smooth, just fucking, mwah, mwah. Like, while Barry's Wildberries, in their return, walked. So that Team Action could fucking run. Well, that Team Action, let's come back, could fucking run. And run they did. And apparently violated a table, and if it's possible, you may want to do a ceremony. I'm going to agree with Loomis this one once with the ceremony. Also, I loved how I slightly forced Guy to break character a little bit. The best way possible, without really breaking character. With his comments, it was great. It was great. I needed this. It was just, this was the jolt I needed a little bit, you know? The comeback I needed. And then people wanted to throw, and then fucking, let's get ready to Schmoedown. Wanted to, compare with the top 10. At this point, we already had it, kind of, sort of, at Spectacular. So it's not going to be the same. We had the top 10 Boomaye moment. Or at least that was the best part of it. And then Mance going off. We had all we wanted at Spectacular. And that could have related to Roka at that point. Since his retirement. So there was no need to really, bring that up anyways. There was no way that was happening in this season. Maybe 2 seasons down the road, more than likely. And then when that happens, it'll work. It'll work. Probably. I wouldn't care. Would I care personally? I've lost my interest in Roka over the years. He burned his time. He did get washed up. It was his time, dude. It was his time. Or it's just the way the digital era just fucked him in the ass. Is what it really amounted to. I think that if he sees what this is, he's gonna want to come back and do this. Because the questions will be easier and he'll mow everything down. Because if freaking Sam Levine could get back and get to the belt with the way these questions are, of course Team Action's gonna fucking find a way to make it work. And Guy's gonna be able to have one hell of a fucking match. It's clear that it was the digital age that was holding him back. Because he fucking ran it. Jerry, you must have loved it. I wish I would have seen a reaction from you instead of just a post from you on Facebook. Honestly. But I was happy with your post on Facebook, though. Don't get me wrong. Shout out to you, Jeremiah Morris. He's a fellow Action fan. And speaking of people involved that have... Shout out to one of the hosts on the Action Wednesdays. These Twitch stream things. Danny Koss. Or at least he's sort of involved in it a little bit. For bringing me in, by the way, because of Guy's moment he had with Merle and stuff like that. I don't know if I had a chance to shout him out back in the day or not. But I feel like I should do it again. If I hadn't already. You know? You're welcome. But anyways, this match was great. The post-interview was great. Jen really played into it. Played to their bullshit, obviously. And weird, though, the Ben's used to calling him Jen. But of course, Guy has to be the one to call her Jessica. It was great. Just free Jessica. She'll hate me for it, but they started it. So, come on. Just chef's kiss. And everyone else would say, okay. It's like, okay, my ass. It actually worked. And character-wise, it fucking was, everything that happened was glorious. So ignore whoever that was. And he waved at me. I don't know. This is a wild episode. But anyways, I enjoyed this. I enjoyed a lot of it. And a lot of this one was pretty good. And most wrestling in the best way. As opposed to the worst way. You know, so this was one of the best. This was one of the better Friday Night Titans episodes for sure. For sure. We'll see how next week's goes. I don't know who the undercard's going to be. We usually don't. Though I'll probably know more than most within the day before. Usually, thanks to Patreon. It's kind of how I eventually knew what was really going to happen. I just had to wait longer to find out. Luckily, I got to see what happened with that and how it went down. So, yeah, I'm happy. I'm happy with the results. I'm happy I actually got to have the moment. And I'm guessing from what... maybe. There needs to be a cutscene, I guess, to confirm it. But right now, it's up in the air if Action is truly reunited and whether or not this means Action is a part... Team Action's a part of the Den. So, I'm kind of upset this wasn't on Dungeon time. But, you know... Team Action's back. I can't complain. Dan will have my attention as long as Team Action stays on it, I guess. Even though Kate's awesome. Even though Kate was awesome when she got to be in last week's study session. You know, and, you know, I got to say some nice things. You know, it was cool. Like, that Kate's cool. I understand her character's whatever about, you know, her heelness, so to speak. But yeah, she was adorable. She was just Kate. As adorable as she always is when it comes to Send Live and stuff like that. That Kate was there briefly. She also complimented on our main gal that's helping out, having her sass with it, which was great. And also doing a comment thing where she had a derp that was glorious. You know, it was all on a message to me, not the whole chat what she was trying to do. Which felt like the kind of Send Live Kate moment, you know what I mean? Which was great, which was perfect to me, you know? It was nice to I normally I shouldn't really, but this was just something, a cool, adorable moment involving Kate that most people would know if they've seen at least Send Live back in Send Live, or even her times within the big thing. You know this Kate, this side of Kate. So, and that side of Kate I got to see, which is great, you know, and finally meet, you know, it was just, it was great. It was great. But it was just cool, you know. But yes, what did you guys, though I'm still Once Dungeon, Always Dungeon, that's not going to change. And that's the same, that extension still goes to Ben. But it's just not even nicer to know that its Action's back, you know? I would have liked it to have come back to the dungeon, but, you know, this works better, too. I like this better. Yeah. So if that's the case, Guy might be the other member that's going to be a part of it now. And I think her having Team Action might be a good idea. Or at least I like to see how she handles herself in managing Team Action. Kind of, sort of. We'll see how that goes. But anyways, what did you guys think of this week's Friday Night Titans? What did you think? Leave a comment below. Let me know. Let me know, all you Schmoedown rockers out there. If you liked, also link to the dungeon page if you want more stuff on that. As well as all my other socials. And so on and so forth. Also, like and follow me on my own Facebook page if you have to. Then you go, also, if you like this video, rock the like button, thrust you must hit that subscribe button and click the notification bell, please, if you want to see more of my content. And as always, guys, keep it random, keep it real. As always, keep it random, keep it real, keep it rocking. If you smell what the movie Trivia Schmoedown, Schmoedown Rock, Schmoedown Entertainment, and so on and so forth, Friday Night Titans as well, is cooking. Ooh, Schmoedown and Friday Night Titans. Dig it. Action's back. Action back, baby. Yeah. Wee. Merc.